This is author Chrystal Rose, and you are listening to The Statement Show with Terry and Zach.
From the Night Shift Crew Studios in the D.C. metro area, this is The Statement Show. I am your host, Terry James, along with my co-host, Zach Chehi. We're covering sports, technology, entertainment, news, and everything in between. The lights are on. Welcome back to another episode of The Statement Show. I'm Terry James.
And I'm Zach Chehi, and we're the podcast that fits in no category.
That's right, Zach. Today, we talk to author Chrystal Rose, whose book is titled Unfaithfully Yours, Confessions of a Cheating Bitch.
If you read her website and it says that she talks with no filter, she means just that, talks with no filter. So I think everybody's going to enjoy this interview, really.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there was some times in there where I didn't even know what to say, and that's not easy to do.
Ain't that the truth? I mean, she talked about sports, she talked about sex, she just openly talked about everything. And like I said, everybody's going to love this interview.
Yeah. Guys, if you like a woman who loves football, good food, and is very unfiltered, you're going to love this interview.
Yeah, we had a good time. So, hey, but people aren't paying us. Wait a minute. We're not being paid at all, are we?
Oh, wait a minute. Why are we doing this?
Who the fuck knows? But anyway, it was a good show. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. So, hey, who the fuck wants to listen to us? Let's hear
Nobody.
Chrystal Rose. All right, man, let's get to it.
On the phone today, we have Chrystal Rose, author of Unfaithfully Yours, Confessions of a Cheating Bitch. Good evening, Chrystal. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually think that is the greatest name for a book I've ever heard in my life.
I have to call myself a bitch before anyone else can.
Where did the name for this book come from?
Pretty much from that. I'm pretty self-deprecating throughout it. I don't make apologies, but I also don't, act like I'm the greatest thing ever and I'm a cheater. Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm a bitch. So pretty much if you pick up the book and you go to read it, you should know what you're getting into. Can't really judge me after that. You can judge yourself.
I read a little excerpt from your book in the beginning there of the first wedding. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, the whole first part is about first. The first wedding that I was in a wedding. My parents divorced, first divorce I ever experienced, my first kiss, my first time, my first blowjob. So I pretty much take the reader through everything that I went through all my first times.
All right, I'm sorry, but I can't help it. My ears pierce. The first blowjob?
Page 20.
Okay. You sold the book to me already. I'm going to go buy it.
It's a pretty popular chapter.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's not exactly something that most normal women just stand around and talk about, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not normal.
That's not water cooler talk right there.
No. Well, it's funny, too, because, I was at a party holding court, essentially, group of, a bunch of guys in the racing industry, and talking about it because they were all like, oh, we want to read your book, blah, blah, blah. And so somehow, of course, we got onto the blowjob chapter, and they were like, students, just listening.
Oh, boy.
It was hilarious.
All right, so what kind of detail are we talking about here? Just the situation, or are we talking instructional?
Well, both.
Oh,
I kind of, the book is really broken up between, stories and then almost, article, public service announcements. I talk about how guys need to manscape. That's, a whole chapter. And
Agreed.
Yeah. We don't want to look at it anyways, but at least make it prettier if we have to.
But
so no George in the jungle. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But when you're standing around talking with a bunch of guys, normal conversation isn't, I need to shave my balls today. That's not a normal conversation. So it's just one of those things that you do and you kind of just shut up about, and then.
Right.
Wow.
I have people.
We could do a half hour on blowjob topic.
Exactly.
Here.
We could. I could talk about blowjobs all day long.
And we'd like to hear it, but
yeah, I think I'm going to move on.
Oh.
That is great stuff, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, I did notice on your website under the 20 random things about me. Now, I'm not going to lie. The peanut M&Ms, good. Coffee, I think Zach would certainly agree with you. Now, you have sugar-free Red Bull, and then your red wine. But then out of nowhere, Jack Daniels. It seemed like you were going good there. You know, you had the sugar-free Red Bull. Red wine obviously has its good. And then Jack Daniels. That peanut M&Ms and Jack Daniels together?
Not necessarily together. They're just one of my favorites. Jack and I have had a long relationship, and it all started because my ex-fiance and his friend poured a shot. It was too big. They kept going, you take it, no, you take it, no, you take it. That's too big. I'm going to throw up. So I just ripped it out of their hands and, like, took it and just made, like, I didn't make a face. I was just like, and they both looked at me like I was the craziest person on the planet, and then from then on, it's just downward spiral.
Of course, I picked up on the very last thing, though. I don't like wearing pants. So I'm assuming you are wearing a dress, right?
Yes and no. I mean, mostly I always wear dresses. People call me Business Barbie because whenever I have meetings, I always wear dresses. I never wear dress pants. I have, like, one client who's ever seen me in jeans, and my girls usually don't either. But I really don't like wearing pants, like, around the house. I pretty much don't. And that's why I like not having roommates.
Are we single or boyfriend or married or what's going on here?
I have a live-in boyfriend currently.
Okay. And how's he like the title of your book?
Oh,
I love it.
He's like really supportive. It's kind of funny. I mean, he started to read it. I think he got to the blowjob chapter and was like, yeah, good. I don't need to read this.
Yeah, I'd be the same way.
It's your past, you know, I love you, and I don't care what happened in your past. And I mean, he knows I'm honest now, so it's and he tells everyone about it. He's like, buy your book, you know, everyone. It's kind of funny. He gets me more sales than I think I've gotten myself. I like never talk about it.
I could see it now, buying the book and hands it to his buddies, and that chapter happens to be missing, you know.
He's like, they don't need to know what you know.
I don't, yeah.
I mean, if my wife was in Playboy, I'd be buying everybody copies, but her pictorial would be the one thing that's missing. So,
yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I found to be funny? As I was looking on your site, I noticed that you feel guilty when you don't return the grocery cart to where it belongs. I feel that same way. I get weirded out about that as well. It has to be. But I don't know if it's like an attention to, or what is that, the OCD thing? I don't know what's going on there, but I feel that same way. It's just like, I can't, you know, like when you pull into a spot, or, you know, and somebody's just left their cart there. Like if you're trying to pull into a spot, it's just right in the middle of a parking spot. It annoys the shit out of me.
I won't leave it in the middle, but I will put it on the line. It depends on how far that little island shitting thing is. You know?
It has to. I park right by there. I park right by that island thing. I park right by where the shopping cart goes, so I don't have to do that. Seriously, I'll park right beside it.
So you park by the island when everybody hits it.
Absolutely.
I'm so weird about little rules, like you know, like you can't wear your bowling shoes outside the bowling alley. Oh my God, I can't do it. Like I can't break little stupid rules like that. I just feel like someone's gonna catch me. And it's like not like they're gonna throw me in bowling jail or like grocery cart jail. You know, like someone will just give me a look like you shouldn't be doing that. But I hate it. Like I can't do it.
Just take them right out. You wouldn't wear them outside anyway, right?
No, never.
Yeah, I'm envisioning you wearing like bowling shoes that have heels or something.
You're right. No blue.
I wish.
There you go. There's an industry. I just helped you out.
I wish. They would be so cute.
High heel bowling shoes.
That would be amazing.
Okay, so how long has the book been out?
It's actually been out since February. I released it on Valentine's Day.
Okay. And I see you have it out for the Kindle, which is great. You have it out there digitally available. That's what a lot of people are looking for these days, because a lot of people have put money into these electronic devices so that they can read these books. So if you don't put it on a Kindle, I think you're kind of hindering yourself these days.
Exactly.
Yeah, so give us a little bit more what's in the book here. What else do you have?
Well, there is a character that is my ex-fiance. His name is Shark Boy, or I refer to him as Sharky. It's amazing because I could not make this, like I couldn't make him up. He is like the best character ever because he's such a tool. Like he is the biggest idiot ever. Does stupid stuff all the time, you know, gets drunk and does ridiculous things to embarrass or humiliate me. You know, there are points in it, or interactions where I like literally just want to like take my hand and shove his face up against, you know, the driver's side window.
Okay.
There's a lot about him in there, because he was the one I was cheating on for, you know, extended amount of time.
So would you say that's one of the reasons you cheated on him then?
Well, I mean, I don't really think I had a reason other than the fact that I was selfish and young, and, I wanted the security of a relationship. I knew he'd always be there for me. He put me on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I wanted that new feeling of dating someone new, or what if there's a better guy out there? I wanted both. Okay. So I think that's mainly the reason. He was, annoying, and I don't think he deserved it. I don't think anyone deserves it, but...
Honestly, I admire the fact that you even say that out loud, because most women, if they've cheated, they'll tend to blame the guy. They'll figure out something. He didn't pay attention to me. He didn't make enough money, whatever. Just the fact that you're saying, you know what, I was a little selfish my own, and I decided to go out, do something else. I mean, I think that's pretty noble, the fact that you even say that.
Well, I mean, it's the truth, and the reason why I wrote the book or even bothered to put the book out there is because women don't admit to cheating.
Right.
Like you said, if they do, they make excuses. They, blame the man or this and everything, and it's like, I did not need to do those things. I could have been brave and been comfortable being alone. I just wasn't. I just was not comfortable being alone, and I didn't want to lose that security. So, he was stupid.
Has he ever actually read your book?
I have no idea. We barely talk. We don't really talk. Last time we talked because his name is still on my car, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, but you have like an inner circle. I would imagine you do have friends that he's connected to, so it's not like he didn't find out about the book.
Exactly. I just have no idea because he's never mentioned it, and I would think that he would, but, he's engaged. He's getting married in February again. Well, he's engaged again. He's getting married in February. So I don't know if she's read it, he's read it. And I don't necessarily care because it's not going to change anything, I didn't write it to, hurt him. I more so wrote it because it's a story.
Okay.
But
if you wanted to hurt him, you wouldn't have used a different alias, right?
Right. I mean, the thing is, I'm choosing to be a public figure. I'm choosing to use my name. Those other people in the book aren't. And, I'm not going to invade their privacy and, exploit them. That's not why. If someone was, a public figure, then, I'm going to use their first and last name.
Okay.
But, he's not choosing to make himself known, and I don't want to embarrass anybody, So.
I saw on here that you're kind of a tomboy. It says, I'm kind of a tomboy. I love sports, and I hate shopping malls. Okay, yeah. So what's your favorite sport?
I love football. I like UFC a lot, too, but I'm a football NFL whore.
Uh-oh. And who's your favorite team?
The Patriots.
Oh, my. So we won't hold that against you. Oh, Lord. We won't hold that against you, I promise.
All right, so if you watch UFC, who do you like to watch? Do you have a favorite person?
I love George St. Pierre, just because he's, he obviously is really hot, but he's ridiculously athletic. He's so good. And I used to like Roger Huerta before he dropped off the face of the planet. And Randy Couture, I met him in person. He was like the nicest guy in the world. It was like the best day of my life.
Well, I imagine if he met you, I'd be if I was meeting for the first time, I'd be really nice too. So,
and Anderson Silva, he's amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's got knees for days. I love it.
So the whole shopping mall thing, forget it, huh?
Yeah, I'll buy makeup, but I go to the mall and if I try one or two things on and I'm having a fat day or it just doesn't look right, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm out of there. I really hate shopping. I hate being around other people. I don't mind internet shopping because obviously no one's bothering me, but I don't know, the whole thing just kind of sucks. And I hate shopping with other people because they just make it a million times worse.
Do you get guys? Do you ever have guys that are just kind of coming up to you and bothering you, or is that more of like a club thing?
Yes. No, I had a guy come up to me in CVS, oh God, it must have been over a year ago. I dated him briefly, but he walked up to me in CVS, and it was so awkward because my hair was so wet from getting it dyed and cut, and I just left the salon with my hair a total mess. And I'm looking for a hair product, and he just walks up to me and starts just, hey, want to go putt golfing sometime? And I'm like, what?
What?
What do you get?
It happens all the time. I have the strangest people, approach me, randomly propose to me, that I don't know. I mean, I don't get it. It's weird, but it's fun.
Putt golfing?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever heard that in my life.
That's not a bad one there, though, huh? Putt golfing.
It was creative. Now, and that was our first date.
Oh, so it worked. Yeah. Oh, my.
Yeah, well, I mean, it didn't necessarily work at that point. I did give him my number, but a month and a half later, he ended up, securing a first date.
Oh my God. I think I've heard everything.
Is that your living boyfriend right now, by the way?
No.
Okay. This isn't with you. We were with him though, right?
No. This was before him.
Okay.
This is definitely before him.
I cannot believe that worked. Yeah.
I can't either. But he was like kind of funny and witty, and we had a little banter going on. So I was kind of like, you know what? Some people meet people in the strangest places. Why not?
Okay.
I'm
This is
a
true.
why not person.
I gotta ask. All right, when you see a guy, you always hear how guys, when they're looking at a woman, they're checking her out. The first thing a guy thinks of is you're kind of sizing up a woman. Is this somebody I want to be with? Does a woman do the same thing? How long does it take you before you realize whether you're going to go on a date with a guy or whether he's getting anywhere with you? I mean, when you first meet a guy, how long does it take you?
See, here's the funny thing is I realized my worst relationships were the ones that they had to grow on me for like months. Like the guy who's your friend and they just keep coming back or keep trying, and I'm like, okay, fine, and then we date for a year or so, and like those are the guys that just.
So basically, guys that like stalk you and don't leave you alone, you eventually go out with them, or it sounds like. I mean, if I'm your friend and I just keep hanging out with you, eventually you.
I met my boyfriend at a Halloween party. He was wearing a Blues Brothers outfit, and he had like fake sideburns on, glasses he didn't take off. I didn't know what he looked like. He asked me out, and I was like, I guess. I gave him my card because I was like, it's tacky to give out your phone number in front of other people at a party. And I was not excited about our date at all. I was not, it's just like, whatever, it's another free meal. And he showed up at my door, and I was like, whoa, you're cute. And then we had, I forgot my cell phone at home, which like I said, I'm business Barbie. I've got my phone on me 24/7. I get calls every day of the week at any hour. And I left my phone on my kitchen table. He like flustered me that much, and the whole time we're sitting there at dinner, we never ordered food, we just kept drinking beer, and I'm sitting there and I'm like twitching, and I'm like, I need you to know I'm a raging workaholic. But at first,
that's when you ripped the phone out of your pocket and started going crazy with the texting, right? So,
no, I left it there, so it was a good date.
All right, since we're on that topic, and I gotta let the nerd side of me come out here for a second. What kind of phone do you use?
I have an iPhone.
An iPhone. Oh, God.
Yes. Oh, yes.
All right.
I get the cloud going on. I got the Mac, the iPhone, and the iPad.
The iPad. Okay.
Just a word of advice, Chrystal. Don't get too in-depth on tech with Zach, because we'll sit here and talk all day about technology. You're in trouble if you do this.
Okay. I can put my nerd glasses on.
That's exactly why he went straight away from football topics. Okay?
Exactly. Hey. Well, I understand there's like a field thing going on there, and guys run around on it.
Maybe I need to do a ref.
No, hey. No, I like football. I'm just not the avid football person that Terry is. He'll research everything. I like the 49ers. So.
Oh, do you? My friend that I'm with today actually is a 49ers. It's my boyfriend's best friend. He came down. My boyfriend's out of town this weekend, so he came to hang out with me and watch the game.
His friend is hanging out with you while he's not.
Yeah. I'm that cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Or your boyfriend is that cool? Because my
boyfriend is that cool.
That's amazing. Yeah.
He puts up with some really, I went on a fake date the other night to make a really good guy friend of mine to make his ex-girlfriend jealous, post pictures on Facebook, whatever.
Wow.
And I asked my boy, I ran it by him. I was like, hey, I just want you to know, if this isn't cool. And he's like, yeah, just have him kick me a bottle of Jameson. I was like, all right.
Nice.
He gives, with all the stuff with the book or, stalkers and creepers and fans and friends and all that stuff. He was really, really good with that.
Okay,
that's one thing I'm very grateful for.
When you're not going on putt-putt dates or writing your book, what are you doing when you're not doing those type things?
Oh, I'm working. This is why I had to, hire a publicist because I didn't have time, even talk about my book. And they're like, you don't even tweet about your book. You don't post anything. I'm like, I know. I feel weird, self-promotion. I just work a lot, and that's basically my life. I love my job, so,
Do you have another book in mind that you, down the road here? Do you have any other books that you're thinking about writing?
Really?
I do. Yes. There's another memoir I need to write. It's based on the crazy boarding school I got sent to when I was a teenager. Yeah. And I'm thinking about writing like a follow-up, like more of like, you know, the reformed cheating bitch or something along those lines. And I also have some fiction that I've started. But thanks to 50 Shades of Grey, I'm thinking about, you know, popping in a little bit more erotica in there because apparently, you know, I'm actually a good writer. Right. I'm actually a good writer, so maybe that'll work for me.
Well, a guy looks at porn is a bad thing, but a woman can read, you know, 50 Shades of Grey. Isn't that basically porn in text form?
It was garbage. Like, I mean, it really was. Sorry, but I was in the middle of this. I only read it because I'm like, what does this bitch have that I don't? And I was reading it. And I'm in the middle of the sex scene, and I'm like, this is boring. Like, let's get to the next part. And I couldn't. I barely was able to finish it. I didn't read the next couple of books. And, you know, I think, like, if you're into reading, I mean, I have a great fucking sex life. I don't need erotica. Like, I don't need porn. I don't need any of that shit. I've got all that at my house.
I believe you. Yeah, okay.
Well, you know what? You're the third person that has actually said that they've read that book and they thought it was dumb. I mean, so... Obviously, I mean, it's number one on the New York Times best.
Have you read this book?
I have not. No.
Okay, because you're talking like you read this book.
No. I've spoken to a few other people that have. I would. I mean, but honestly, if it's one of those things where everybody's telling me it's bad, then
because I'm envisioning you going to a bookstore. I don't think they'd even let a guy buy it.
Probably.
It's an embarrassment.
No. Here's my problem.
Embarrassment.
I've obviously done the writing thing, and I could sit and watch movies for days, but when it comes to reading, it's just not my thing. I don't like to sit down and read.
I love
so
reading.
I could sit like in other words, if you do a movie, Unfaithfully Yours, Confessions of a Cheating Bitch, I will watch it. I promise.
Oh yeah.
Watch it?
Oh hell yeah.
Just
don't put it on a Lifetime.
Interested?
yeah. No Lifetime movies. Please
if
don't.
If it's on Cinemax, we'll watch it. So
I do not want to be on I'd rather like turn it into an ESPN flick than Lifetime.
You better be careful. You get James wet. You get Terry wet.
So not put it on Lifetime.
I can't watch like chick. I feel like I would sell it to like a studio and they would totally ruin it and make it all like some feel good ending where like the girl, you know, cries and feels bad and goes to Italy and then, you know, oh wait, that's a book.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's not Eat, Pray, Love. It's kind of the ending is pretty much like.
So it's obvious you don't like the whole chick flick thing. What do you like to watch when you're not working? What do you like to sit and watch?
I feel like if it's really immature, stupid humor, then I'm all about it. And,
so like a Dumb and Dumber.
Like pretty much anything Will Ferrell. And then if someone isn't dying or getting blown up, then I'm not really interested either. And so pretty much either action or.
Right now, favorite TV show. Mine is The Walking Dead. What are you into?
Oh God, right. I mean, there's so many because I watch Showtime and HBO series mostly. So like Dexter. Oh yeah. I started watching Game of Thrones. Oh, love that show.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. I'm watching The League right now. I'm catching up on that because it's hilarious. And I hadn't even heard of it, and then I started watching that on Netflix. So,
right.
You know, there's a girl thing every now and then, but not usually.
Well, I wrote a fantasy football book, so obviously The League is... Yeah, it's up on Amazon as well. So
cool.
It's one of those things where The League... Yeah, it's kind of right up my alley. But when it's on, Californication is literally one of my favorite shows ever.
I figured out how we can sell more of your book.
I need to get started on that.
It's a great show. Yeah, no. Hank Moody is the man. You're gonna once you start watching it, you're gonna love it.
Telling me I need to go catch up on it.
Right.
We need to redesign your book, Terry. We're gonna call it the Ultimate Fantasy Football Guide, where we're gonna put her picture on the cover. It's gonna sell.
You know what though? This is something I've wanted to do. I just have zero time. Is I wanted to start like a fantasy football show for girls because every time I talk to a chick who's in a league, she's the only chick in her league, and that's always how I've been. So I think it'd be
a pretty short show
to have like a couple of hot chicks talking about fantasy and sleepers and studs and all that stuff, and be serious about it for like the serious chicks. But I mean, we're all kind of sick of listening to the dudes. I'm kind of sick of listening to the dudes talk about. Half of them don't know what they're talking about, anyways.
I agree, and I think it would be a fantastic idea. We're looking to put some shows underneath the Statement umbrella, so we can always talk about this off air if you'd like.
Really?
Sure.
Do that. I'd be all about that.
That sounds good. I like the idea. That sounds amazing.
I can think of the first one off the top of my head. The very first podcast of instructional blowjobs, where everybody calls in and asks you.
Don't use your teeth, bitch.
Yeah,
No, my number one rule about blowjobs is have enthusiasm. That's pretty much, if you have enthusiasm, it really doesn't matter what you do. If you're excited about it, the guy's going to be just as happy.
I would imagine.
I agree. Yeah. And here's the funny part about this whole entire thing. Now that we're kind of talking about this, it seems if women sit around and talk about their sexual partners, if they talk about how they've had, let's just say, 20 different sexual partners, that labels them as a whore or a slut. But if a guy sits around and talks about having 20, well, they're the man. They're the king of the castle. I mean, have you noticed that as well?
I actually there's an article on my website. It's called The Slut Stigma. I think a slut is really like a girl who just carries herself trashily,
Right.
Who doesn't have respect for herself. And, I mean, you can sleep with 100 men and be a slut, or you can sleep with 100 men and be an empowered woman. It's all how you carry yourself.
Agreed.
I like to have sex, but that doesn't make me a slut. There's definitely been times where I've slept with people I wish I hadn't, or like the next morning I'm gathering my things to run out of there. But I know who I am. I love my sexuality and I'm okay with it. So, it's not really up to other people to judge, but if there's some attention-seeking skank, with everything hanging out, who will sleep with anyone at any time, that's a deeper issue.
Yeah.
It really is a reflection of how she feels about herself, but it doesn't matter how many people you've slept with. I think that's irrelevant. I mean, that's just, practice.
So you still sing and dance?
I don't. I wish I could. I saw this movie, Pitch Perfect, last night, and I just wanted to be in it so bad.
What do you sing here?
So you just used to do musical theater, right?
Yeah, I did musical theater. I worked with a band in San Diego that did a lot of they were like a live band karaoke kind of thing, but they were an actual band. And then they would sing their own songs, but mostly we did covers, and they invited me to join them. So, I'd sing a few songs with them. I like singing boy songs pretty much. I don't know why, like Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. But I love it. I love singing. I love performing. I used to do improv comedy too, so I love being on stage. I always feel like I'm gonna puke right before, no matter how many times I've done it. But I love it. There's nothing like it.
To our male listeners that have been paying attention to this episode, they now know that they're talking to someone who obviously loves football, which there's a check mark for you.
Yeah.
The title in the actual title in your book perked up people's ears immediately. Okay. Then we started talking about the chapters in your book, which obviously the blowjob title the chapter was great. Now I see that your favorite foods are steak and bacon.
Oh, I love bacon. Oh my
literally
God.
is the greatest thing ever. Steak and bacon. Are you kidding me? Steak and bacon?
Yeah.
It doesn't get that's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Obviously, bacon wrapped around steak.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's even better. See, my mom spoiled me because she always gets these huge cuts of meat. So, if I go to a restaurant and their biggest fillet is 8 or 9 ounces, I'm like, nope. And I'll get the biggest ribeye I can find. Whatever. I'm always asking, how many ounces is this? I actually once earned a client's business because I ate a 28-ounce bone-in ribeye.
I'm starting to look at you like you being an
Wow.
expensive date, though.
Yeah.
But I do what?
Expensive date.
I am.
Again, Gene,
Sometimes I'm a cheap date. Sometimes I'm a
What will
cheap
you
date.
have, ma'am? I'll take the 20-ounce steak. Sir, what will you have? I'll have a glass of water.
did that guy have to buy you a steak before he took you out the putt-putt?
No, actually, we just did putt-putt and we had a couple beers after. I'm not high maintenance, I don't demand a lot, but I mean, if I'm going to be dating someone, you kind of need to pay for stuff because I could date someone who could pay for, my lifestyle, but I don't want that.
All right, so let me ask you, how big is this book? If I have it holding in my hand, how much weight do I have in my hands? How many pages?
Oh, it's like 240 pages, but it's not lengthy because I keep the chapters short. If you've ever read James Patterson, his chapters are 3 pages. So you finish the chapter and you're like, well, this is more.
Okay.
No, I agree.
And it's kept really short like that. It's not like every single page is full. Sometimes there might be 2 sentences left over on a page, and then I start a new chapter. So it's really a quick read. Most people have said that they've read it in 1 to 2 days. My friend's mom actually just added me on Facebook because she read read my book by the pool in Cabo this week and decided she loved it and loved me when she didn't really like me much before. Yeah. She read it one day by the pool.
Wow. So what are some other stuff that would surprise us in the book? Is there anything that stands out other than the obvious?
Like I said, it's some instructional stuff. I do talk to guys a little bit in it. I've noticed that I have some male readers, and I think mostly because I just keep it real, and I don't bash men and I don't bash women. I just tell the truth.
Okay.
And I feel like guys kind of feel like I understand them. So, there's like I said, the manscaping chapter. I have a chapter that's basically saying like, don't Brett Favre me, because women don't want dick pic ever, pretty much.
Yeah, I could imagine. So when you're looking at Twitter and you see like the little avatars and it's just like a dick, is that this? I know as a guy it's just horrible, but as a woman, are you really sitting there looking at that like, that's impressive, or it's like, good goddamn, that's just disgusting.
Really disgusting. It's just kind of like I'm not trying to look at it. That's the thing is, dicks are unattractive. They just are. They're weird looking. They have a hangy thing underneath them. They're not something that I want to gaze upon. But,
I'm finding this a little disconcerting now.
Obviously, I love dick. I just don't want to stare at it.
Right.
So when I feel like I'm being visually raped by someone's penis, when they send me a picture, it's like an immediate turn-off. I'm kind of like, why are, especially when they don't, like, set themselves up. That's weird to me, but it just doesn't do it for me. I'm not going to sit there and examine it. Be like, ooh, look at this.
Oh boy.
Well, I know we were kind of talking before we came on the air here. We didn't want to keep it very long because we know you got a Patriots game to catch here, and I understand. Hey, I love my football as well.
You said it's playing in the background though, so what's the score right now?
Oh, I don't know because I'm sitting in my car because it's too loud in the bar. So I was like, excuse me.
So you're in the bar, okay?
Yeah. We don't want to hold you
outside of the bar, creepily sitting in my car.
I do have one more quick question for you, though.
Sure.
What is, I know we've went all these random things about you. Is there one thing in there that somebody may not know about you? Is there one little deep, dark, little secret that you have that somebody just doesn't know about you, that you didn't put in your book, or any random things about yourself, anything whatsoever?
Yeah, that you just want to share with the three of us. Nobody will ever know.
Yeah, nobody will ever know. Yeah, we won't let this out. Promise.
Yeah, right.
Fingers crossed.
I would say that I'm human.
Yeah.
Most people don't believe I'm human.
Because you're so honest.
Because I'm like a machine, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much I'm just human. I keep it real.
And
I don't
you
really have any secrets. I stole them all.
You definitely keep it real. I'll give you that. Enjoy your show. The title of our book is Unfaithfully Yours, Confessions of a Cheating Bitch. Chrystal Rose, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
What you think, Terry, man? I was really surprised. She was very open.
She was literally the most open person. Now my wife is open. There is no doubt about it. She don't care. But wow, Chrystal was open.
It sounds like a great book to read.
It
now,
does.
My wife had this book. I'd be a little suspicious, but
Yeah. We're gonna have to talk. If my wife has that on, if we look at that, if I see under the bed that there's a couple books under there, and any one of them have to do with Confessions of a Cheating Bitch, that's trouble.
All right, I'm definitely going to put a link to her book on our website if anybody wants to go and get it for Amazon. It's available on Kindle. Go ahead and give it a read. She's got an excerpt that you can read, and if you can get it on Kindle, then you can also get they do a little where you can get the front end of the book. Usually they give you a couple pages to read, and she does that on her website as well at xtalrose.com. That's xtalrose.com. So go ahead and give her book a look-see. Looks like a good read. Apparently you heard a few things that were in there.
Right, and you can definitely follow her on Twitter at XTAL_Rose. That's XTAL_Rose. That's her Twitter follower.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, let's not forget you can follow us on Twitter too. What is it, Terry?
And it's at Statement Show, or you could get us on the web, www.thestatementshow.com.
Exactly. Follow us on iTunes. You can get our show off of Podbean. We're on Stitcher Radio.
Subscribe to YouTube. We're all out there. We're everywhere.
Yeah, right. So we'll have Chrystal back on in the future. You listen to how cool she was. If you have any questions in the future, we'll get them out there to her and have her back on at a later date. Go get her book again. What is it? The title there, Terry?
Unfaithfully Yours, Confessions of a Cheating Bitch. And you can find that on all major online retailers, including Amazon, in paperback, and as well as for the Kindle.
All right, Terry, it's time to turn the lights out on another episode of The Statement Show. I'm out.
See ya.
I could talk about blowjobs all day long.
And we'd like to hear it. The first blowjob.
Page 20.
Okay.
Don't use your teeth, bitch.
Yeah, there.
I'll answer that question. It's hardwood floors. Oh. I'm blonde, but it's not real.
Okay.
Start with like, how big is your vagina?
Right.
I have to call myself a bitch before anyone else can.
Maybe
there you go.
Because everybody seems to have a problem with my last name. Terry's no problem. He's got 2 first names.
Right.
Wow, she was cool as shit.
She was so fucking cool.
Thanks for joining us at The Statement Show. If you like the show, go to our website at thestatementshow.com and click on one of our affiliates. Subscribe to our show at iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Also, check us out on Facebook and YouTube, and at Twitter at Statement Show. For comments or concerns, or to be a guest on The Statement Show, email us at thestatementshow@gmail.com.